Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Holly, and I'm the Executive Director at the Brain Injury Association of Ohio. You may have heard we have some very exciting programs coming up this summer called NeuroSparks. And I just wanted to take a little bit of time today to share what the program is and some details about what to expect and how to participate if you're interested, to clear up any confusion you may have about the program. And we'd love to see you join us this summer at one of our locations, or perhaps in the fall at the location we'll have in the fall. So without further ado, I'd like to just share a little bit about what NeuroSparks is. So NeuroSparks is a 3-day intensive program that is specifically made for brain injury survivors, and that is really any kind of brain injury. It can be a traumatic brain injury, an acquired brain injury like a stroke, an infection, a brain tumor, any kind of brain injury. And it's designed to help folks who have maybe plateaued in their recovery journey. They need a little boost. They're maybe not qualifying for therapy services right now through their insurance. And they could just use a little bit of a spark in their recovery. And so that's what this program is designed to do. It's an interdisciplinary program. And what that means is that we use faculty and graduate students from different areas. So physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and then some other programs as well, including psychology, social work, nutrition, and other areas depending on the program site. And those folks work together to provide a comprehensive evaluation and homegoing program and just kind of create a plan for you to re-energize your rehab journey. We utilize partnerships with universities to carry out the program, and that's how we're able to serve as many people as we are able to serve. And we focus on practical strategies. You know, part of the focus of the program is that you share with us what your goals are and what you want to work on. And then the clinicians and the grad students work to help you set up a plan to achieve those goals. So it's very person-centered, and it's very practical tools that you can use to help in your everyday life when you go home. So why NeuroSparks? So as I mentioned, we really created this for folks who have plateaued in their therapy and just need a little bit of boost. It impacts daily life long after the program. So we have done this for a few years now, and we follow up with folks that have participated in previous years' programs. And we find that, you know, even beyond the 3-day program, we're seeing people engage more in the community, achieve more of their rehab goals, and do well beyond the program. So it's a boost to get you started, but it's something you can carry with you after the program. And we work on things like memory challenges, you know, fatigue and conserving your energy. We talk about how to increase your independence, how to improve your focus. So lots of things that people typically struggle with after a brain injury, we address within this program to give you practical tools to make life more successful at home. And what we know now is that brain injury recovery continues for many years after an injury. So you can continue to see gains and growth long after an injury. You just need a focused plan. And that's what this program aims to do, is to provide you with a focused plan that will help you continue that recovery process. So who do we serve? So we have 2 different types of retreats. The first is for adults, and then we also have a retreat for children. So we will have 2 locations serving adults this year in 2026 and 1 location serving children. And we are looking primarily for folks that are 2 years or more from their injury. Because typically if you're closer than that, you're still able to receive services from traditional therapy programs. If you are receiving therapy from a traditional program, or you're less than 2 years after your injury, but you're interested, we encourage you, you can still apply. Just know that, you know, we are looking for folks that are unable to receive services first to fill the program. And then we will take others after that. We require that a caregiver participate. And so that means that you have, somebody who has lived experience of a brain injury with a care partner of some type. It doesn't have to be, it could be a paid care partner. It could be a personal relationship, a friend, a spouse, a parent, whoever is going to be your support person in the community to help you carry out the things that we create in that homegoing plan. And we're looking for people that are seeking new strategies and new ways to kind of tackle that brain injury recovery journey and looking for some momentum in their journey. So those are the folks that we are looking to serve. So for the children's retreat, I will mention we are looking for children ages 6 to 18 for that program. And then adults, it's anything 18 and higher would be served by the adult program. So what makes this program so innovative and unique? And I should say that we did take a model from Alabama. They've been doing they were doing this type of concept before us. We took it and we adapted it a little bit to meet the needs of Ohioans. And so we thank the Alabama Head Injury Foundation for creating the initial model that this program is based on. It's an interdisciplinary approach. So we get all of the different therapies together, working to help you achieve the goals that you set for yourself. And that's really where the real life practical strategies come. One of the great things about the program is that we provide everybody that attends with a free tablet, so that will go home with you. And it's loaded with applications that the clinicians working with you recommend. And so based on your personal goals and situations, they will determine what apps might help you. And we load those and pay for those on the tablet to go home with you. One of the things that makes this unique is that we do have caregiver involvement. And so that means that not only are we helping to educate your support person in how to support you in the community with this new homegoing plan, but we also spend an entire day on caregiver education. And so we spend an entire day covering all of the different topics that might be beneficial specifically to a care partner and resources in the community that they can use to help support you once you return back to the community. And we focus on community connection and peer support. So we bring different community resources in to talk about what's available and ways that you can get connected to them. And we develop great peer support connections through the attendees that are there. So I talked a little bit about that interdisciplinary team. The core team is physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. And then beyond that team, depending on the university location that we're at, there are some other disciplines that get involved, like I mentioned, sometimes social work, sometimes psychology, sometimes nutrition. It just really kind of depends on the site as to those other disciplines. But those three core services are available at all of the sites. So here's just a little overview of the adult location that is coming up here. So this is NeuroSparks Cleveland State. So this will be in Cleveland, July 27th through July 29th. We meet for 3 consecutive days from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. They are long days. They are tiring days. But it unfortunately is just the nature of how we are able to give so much content to you and support to you and with the resources that we have. And we provide breakfast, we provide lunch and snacks. And like I said, you do get a tablet to take home with you, and that's yours to keep. Parking is free at this location. We do say in our application that you should be no more than 45 miles away from the location, and that is because we want to make sure you can get to it consistently over the course of the 3 days. If you live further and you wish to, come in town and stay locally at your cost at a hotel, you are welcome to do that. And we have had folks come in from other cities and stay locally in a hotel so they could be nearby for the course of those 3 days. And you are welcome to do that. That would just be something that we would discuss, in your application process to make sure that you have a good plan in place to be able to be there for all 3 days, because it is important to be there for the entire program once you start. So what do adult participants receive? Again, individualized evaluations on day 1. On day 2 and day 3, we are creating treatment plans. They're working with you. They're creating a homegoing plan. We provide technology recommendations. So those are their apps that are going to be loaded onto a tablet. You leave with a homegoing plan. And so that is your plan of what to do when you leave the program. We give you 3 intense days of support, but then what's important is what you do when you leave. And so that's in that homegoing plan. We provide education and support throughout the 3 days to both the person with lived experience as well as their care partner to try to provide connection to community resources, problem solve any challenges, and get them connected. So that is what is provided to an adult participant. And then we've got our NeuroSparks Kids. And so this is our pediatric program that is going to be July 15th through 17th. Again, 9 to 4. This is in partnership with Ohio State University. So this is in Columbus. The same model applies as far as day 1, we do the evaluations. Day 2, we start treatment. And day 3, you get your homegoing plan and you'll get your tablet as well. The difference is we are working with folks that are specifically geared towards the pediatric population and are very familiar with working with children that have had brain injury. And we have experts from that area working on this specific location. So again, for the NeuroSparks Kids, it is children ages 6 to 18. And this would be at Ohio State. Same concept applies as far as, if you are more than 45 miles away, if you wish to stay locally at your own cost, you're welcome to do that. We just want to make sure that you're able to be there reliably all 3 days of the program so that you can get the biggest benefit from it. And then some of the things that'll be addressed in the pediatric program, we'll talk about school and returning back to school after a brain injury, navigate any of the challenges you might be having there, talking about, managing emotions, accommodations that might be beneficial at school, social and behavioral changes you might be seeing after a brain injury, and what the family needs to manage after an injury, addressing any caregiver stress or needs that caregiver might have as well. So as I mentioned earlier, day 2 of the program is where we embed our caregiver training. And so day 1, the care partner and the individual with lived experience will go around to all of the different sessions together. And see the physical therapy folks, the occupational therapy, the speech therapy folks. They'll see everybody together. On day 2, we do separate the individual with lived experience and the caregiver. We separate them, and we do have buddies that are able to assist that individual with lived experience navigate around if they need that assistance. And then the caregiver spends a full day in caregiver resource training. And so this is where we're bringing in local community resources to come and talk. We're talking about caregiver stress, caregiver burnout, and some of the programming that's available specifically for care partners. And so then day 3, we reunite the individual with lived experience and the care partner again, and you revisit all of the therapies again together on day 3. So a key component of the program is the technology piece. And so that's the tablet that's provided to all of the participants free of cost. The entire program is free. There's no cost to anybody attending the program. And on that tablet, we will load any applications that are recommended by the clinicians working with you. And so they look at your specific needs, your specific goals, and they determine which apps are most appropriate for you, and we will download those, pay for those, and download those onto the tablet. And so part of the program is that we have a group of students that work with you to get your tablet set up, help you figure out how to navigate it, and really kind of train you in the apps that you're that you're going to be using. So NeuroSparks is a really fabulous program where we've seen some amazing things come out of the program. We've seen folks, obtain jobs shortly thereafter that didn't think they were going to be able to obtain jobs. We've seen, people become more engaged in their community, get out more, be more independent. We've seen some really amazing things. We've also had folks make some very meaningful connections with the other peers in the program and find support in that group beyond just the program. And then one of the things that you also get from being in NeuroSparks is you do get connected to the Brain Injury Association of Ohio and our neuro resource facilitation team. And so we are a lifeline that you can access anytime after the program and get support and resources. So you get a connection to support that lasts a lifetime. So just some frequently asked questions that we get about the program. Who can apply? Anybody can apply. Just want to put the caveat out there that when we review the applications, we have a limited number of slots. And so we start with the individuals who are not currently able to receive therapies any other way. Just because we want to start with the people who have the greatest need. And then, once we accept those folks, then we would move into folks that have potentially, they're getting therapies elsewhere or they're less than 2 years out from their injury. How much does it cost? It's free. There is no charge for you to participate in this program other than your costs, in gas to get to and from, or to stay in a hotel if you need to stay from out of town. We provide breakfast, lunch, and snacks. We provide all of the services, and we provide the tablet and applications. Can caregivers attend? Yes. We require that a care partner of some sort attend the program with the individual who's experienced a brain injury, just so that we can provide, both pieces of support to make sure that you're successful in the community. How do referrals work? You do not need to be referred. You can just sign up on our website. And the application will be open for 1 more week. So it will be open until May 15th, and then it will close. And at that point, we will start the process of doing the applicant interviews and getting people accepted into the program and getting them more logistical details about the program. If you're unsure if you qualify, I would encourage you to just give us a call, and we're happy to answer that, talk through it with you, and see. Most cases, we're going to tell you to just go ahead and apply, and we will follow up after reviewing your application as well. So how to apply? Applications are currently being accepted. You can go to our website at www.biaoh.org. Space is limited. Due to the cost of putting on the program, we can't take on, hundreds and hundreds of people. So it is limited. So we encourage you to apply. And anybody can refer folks to us to apply on our website. If you're a healthcare professional, a school, you're welcome, community member, you're welcome to refer folks. There is a QR code on the screen that you can also scan to get to that application. And if you have questions, just reach out and ask. We're happy to navigate this with you, and we would love to see you at an upcoming NeuroSparks location. If you have questions, here's our contact information. You're always welcome to go to our website that I mentioned earlier, or you can call our helpline, a toll-free number, 1-833-783-1495, or email us at help@biaoh.org, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. I hope this was helpful to kind of explain a little bit more about NeuroSparks, and we'd love to see you at an upcoming location. I should say that we will have another adult location in the fall. It wasn't included here just because it is a little bit more in the future, but we will have a Cincinnati location in November. So if you're maybe in the southern part of the state and an adult looking for the program, you might want to wait for the fall location coming up in November. More about that will come out later this summer. All right. Thanks so much, guys. We look forward to serving you soon.